what is your favorite season?
Awards.
So award season has officially come to an end with the 95th Annual Academy Awards that happened last night. And what a night we got out of it. I don't think I could have asked for anything more out of an award show. And it kind of reinforced the fact that this is why I love the Oscars so much. We got to laugh, we even cried a little bit, there were some great sentimental moments, and they even threw a little bit of drama into the mix. So let's take a quick review of what happened last night.
And the Oscar goes to Ke Huy Quan.
Ke Huy Quan made his big screen debut in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and played Data in The Goonies. He holds a film degree from the USC School of Cinematic Arts.
So the first acting award of the evening was, of course, for Best Supporting Actor. And just as we had thought, and all of us had hoped and prayed and predicted, the award went to Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I mean, how could we have asked for a better, more appreciative, more emotional speech than the one that he gave? Unfortunately, I can't show any clips of the speech due to copyright issues. But if you go online and check it out, he really talked about where he came from, how his career has been progressing, and he hit on some really sentimental moments. So I think, honestly, it was probably the most heartwarming of the award wins for the night, and we had all really hoped that it happened. And realistically, he was kind of the front runner going into this, and he's pretty much swept award season with everything, just excluding the BAFTAs. So not really a big surprise at the end of the day, but he was the one that we wanted to see walk away, and it happened. So congratulations.
And the Oscar goes to...
Jamie Lee
So directly after Ke Huy Quan won his Best Supporting Actor award, we moved straight into the Best Supporting Actress, and that was the race that I was probably the most nervous and the most excited about, because again, we just did not know which way this was going to go. I talked about it in my video prior of my thoughts of it. You know, most people kind of had the feeling that this was going to be an easy win for Angela Bassett. There was also a lot of us thinking that Kerry Condon could pull off the win since she did win at BAFTA. And then, of course, there was my sentimental favorite and the one that I was keeping my fingers crossed for the entire night, which was Jamie Lee Curtis. And out of the blue, her name was announced and won Best Supporting Actress, and it was by far for me the biggest highlight of the night. I was so excited. I was so happy to see her win. And then obviously we kind of woke up this morning, and even honestly just shortly after she won the award, and we're kind of starting to see a little bit of the backlash of what happened, just with obviously this kind of response from Angela Bassett at the award show. So let's be completely honest with this. When it comes to this whole thing going on out there right now, talking about a snub for Angela Bassett. Now, as far as her reaction is concerned, let's be completely honest. I think if I was in her position as well, I would probably have had the same type of response, although I may have considered to maybe put my hands together to do a little bit of a clap, and if everyone else around me was standing up, I may have done the same, even though I might have been a little bit upset that I'm not the one on the stage. Completely understandable, so I can understand where she was coming from and how she was feeling during that moment, so we'll just move on. As far as the whole thing about her being snubbed, and that this should have been her award, we have to be completely honest and look back at how this whole race has kind of gone with this. Yes, she started off with winning the Golden Globe, which again, if you're familiar with the Golden Globes, I think there's only about 80 to 90 people on the voting panel for that, and it doesn't necessarily dictate what's going to happen with the Oscars. She did go on to win the Critics' Choice Award and a few other awards along the whole award season, but as she started out on top, her trajectory really started to go down, whereas the love and the movement for Everything Everywhere All at Once started to climb. We saw at the BAFTAs that Carrie Condon was the one that took the awards that night, and then when we moved on to the SAG Awards, that's where Jamie Lee Curtis stepped in as well. So when you're looking at the amount of people voting when it comes to the SAG Awards, a lot of times it is a really good dictator to see how it's going to go at the Oscars. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I love Angela Bassett. I think she was fantastic. Do I think she was the best out of the three? I honestly, she was really good. I'm not going to lie. She could have taken it and I would have been very happy. Carrie Condon, on the other hand, did do a very superb performance in Banshees, and you know, a lot of us were kind of predicting as well that she might be the one to kind of step in there and take the award. Now with Jamie Lee Curtis, let's be honest, do I think that some of the votes that went for her were maybe votes for her as a person, who she is, her career that's happened thus far? Yes, I think that some of the votes did come to that. But I will also say, I think that some of the votes that went to Angela Bassett were the exact same votes. I think a lot of people were thinking that this was going to be giving her an award for her career work so far, or the fact that maybe a lot of people, and I will agree with this, I think she was kind of robbed back in, I think it was 93, for What's Love Got to Do with It. I think she should have taken the award that night. But again, nothing is ever certain when it comes to the Oscars. And you know, when I look at Jamie Lee Curtis, she is such a sentimental favorite of mine. I was cheering, and by far it was my favorite award of the night. I am still just so excited that she got to stand up there, take her award. She's got a great family legacy within the film industry, and honestly, I could not be more excited. So Jamie Lee Curtis, I am your number one fan, and I congratulate you all the way.
Brendan Fraser. As a child, Brendan Fraser developed an interest in acting after seeing a West End performance of the musical Oliver.
Then we finally got to the Best Actor race, and this one was probably a really close call, I think, when it came down to the voting votes that were tallied at the end. But when it came down to it, Brendan Fraser was the one that swooped in and took the Best Actor award. And honestly, I am so happy and thankful for it. If any of you guys have seen The Whale, his performance in it is again that type of role that actors dream of. It's emotional, it's transformative, it's deep and got so many layers, and it was so good. And I do think The Right Man won. Again, Austin Butler was completely fantastic in Elvis. I'm not taking that away from him. Again, the fact that he did all his own singing and all of that stuff, it was an amazing performance. If you were to put him and Rami Malek, who won for Bohemian Rhapsody, up against each other, Austin Butler would have won a million times over just for the fact that he did his own singing and he sounded amazing. But Brendan Fraser, it was just such, again, that moment where you've seen someone who's had such a long career in Hollywood finally kind of get this big break after such a hiatus. It was so good to see, and he just was so appreciative. So Brendan Fraser totally deserved it. So happy for him.
Goes to Michelle Yeoh.
As a child, Michelle Yeoh studied to become a ballet dancer, and despite her illustrious career in action films, has no formal training in martial arts.
And next on to the Best Actress race, and this was a total nail-biter throughout the entire award season that has been happening, because none of us have known which way it was going to go between Cate Blanchett and Michelle Yeoh. And I mean, when that envelope opened and Michelle Yeoh's name was announced, I mean, it was one of those moments where you just could not help but be so happy for her. This award just means so much in so many ways for her. Just obviously the fact with her long career, her amazing performance in this film, and then obviously the fact that she was the first Asian woman to win the Best Actress Oscar, which was, completely monumental. And let's not forget too, the fact that Will Smith wasn't there to kind of present the Best Actress Oscar was totally fantastic, because we had Halle Berry there, which obviously she is the, again, surprisingly, the one and only African-American woman who has won the Best Actress Oscar. She was there to present the award to Michelle Yeoh. So it was such a great moment to see, and it was so, I don't know, it's those things that you just can't plan for. It was perfect, and Michelle Yeoh is obviously so gracious, so appreciative. It is so well deserved. Cate Blanchett was cheering her on the entire way, and I think, you know, as great as Cate Blanchett is in Tar, I feel like this was the year and the moment for Michelle Yeoh. So it really was a heartwarming, beautiful speech she gave, and it really did touch me. So it was great. Michelle Yeoh, you're fantastic. And finally, the biggest award of the evening was Best Picture, and let's all be honest, I don't think any of us were too surprised when Harrison Ford opened up the envelope and said it was Everything Everywhere All at Once. What a cool moment again when everybody from the film rushed the stage, and Kiwi Kwan was up there with Harrison Ford because they were in the Indiana Jones movie together. So, and then it was like, you know, you had Kiwi Kwan there with Brendan Fraser, and they were both in Encino Man together. It was such a crazy kind of serendipitous night, having all these people with all of these different career paths, and it was just such an amazing night. And actually, as I sit here and think about it then, all of the winners were all on their very first Oscar nominations, which is kind of crazy for Kiwi Kwan, Jamie Lee Curtis, Brendan Fraser, and Michelle Yeoh. I actually didn't even realize that until this moment. Everyone was on their first Oscar nomination, and they all took home awards. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I know there were a few upsets to some people, and, you know, just with the Best Supporting Actress, again, I think it's really funny to kind of watch this all kind of blow up when it comes to that. But what a great award season. It was so much fun. It was so good. There was no crazy drama, you know, besides the Angela Bassett thing, which I think is getting a little blown out of proportion, but it's still fun to watch. So that is it for this year's award season. It was a complete blast. I'm so happy you guys joined me for this quick little recap. I was really excited to rush home from work and make this video for you guys. So please, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Did some of the people you want to win? What do you think of some of the people who didn't win of the night? And just any thoughts overall of this whole award season, because it was a crazy race and it was so much fun going into the night, not really expecting to know how it was going to turn out. So let's see what happens this year. Everybody, have a great night. Thank you for joining me. Bye.